The Unsteady foundation of the food guide pyramid. The United States Department of Agriculture has been offering nutritional guidelines for the United States since 1894. The earliest guidelines advocated a variety of foods, measuring calories and an efficient, affordable diet. Most of the early guidelines were developed to ensure adequate calorie consumption and nutrient consumption during times of decreased food availability, such as the Great Depression and World War II. During the 1980s, people of the United States no longer had to worry about where their next meal would come from. For the first time in generations, the United States benefited from a surplus in food, and the U.S. government recognized the need to guide the citizens on the United States, not only on basic nutrition, but also on the recommended serving size of each food group. The most omnipresent of the recommendations took place in a set of nutritional guidelines known as the Basic Four. The Basic Four varied from earlier recommendations because refined and non-enriched grains were no longer considered foods necessary to round out a diet, but instead as equal parts to meet nutritional needs. The USDA reconstructed the Basic Four into the food guide pyramid. The original food guide pyramid featured fruits and vegetables at its base. However, this food guide pyramid was never published. Due to commodity groups such as the grains industry pushed for the base of the pyramid to consist of grains, rice, and pasta. The government has misled consumers with nutritional suggestions such as the food guide pyramid. Unfortunately, this influence has led not to an improvement of the overall health of the citizens of the United States, but instead an epidemic of obesity, leading to health concerns such as heart disease and diabetes. Most food consumers of the United States are familiar with the nutritional guidelines of the food guide pyramid. I remember being introduced to the food guide pyramid in middle school. The pyramid could be found everywhere, on the back of cereal boxes, on posters at school, and even during the commercials seen during our favorite cartoons. I blindly believed the information that the government provided. I had no reason not to. However, by faithfully following the guidelines of the food guide pyramid, I too became a healthcare statistic. Today I will share with you the flaws of the government-funded nutritional advice such as the food guide pyramid and offer better recommendations. The food guide pyramid was released by the USDA in 1992. It was easy to remember and offered a visual graphic that most Americans could understand. The translation of nutritional advice into a colorful pyramid was and still is a great way to illustrate what foods make up a healthy diet. The shape immediately suggests that some foods are good and should be eaten more often, and that others aren't so good and should be eaten only occasionally. The layers represent major food groups that contribute to the total diet. What isn't good is the actual composition of the food guide pyramid. Representing the foods that should be consumed the most is at the base, carbohydrates. This includes processed foods, foods such as bread, rice, and pasta. The second level consists of fruits and vegetables, and the third level consisted of dairy and proteins such as meat, fish, and eggs. At the very top of the pyramid are the foods that are recommended to be eaten in limited quantities, fats such as oils and sweets. Many nutritionists believe that the food guide pyramid might just be upside down. A nutritional expert, such as Harvard nutritionist Dr. Walter Willett, have studied the recommendations of the food guide pyramid, and through extensive research, Dr. Willett and his peers have determined that the structure of the food pyramid has been directly linked to health problems. Too many carbohydrates lead to an increase in diseases such as obesity and diabetes. Challenges arise when foods such as healthy fats are completely avoided. Healthy fats aid in weight loss. They create a feeling of fullness and curbing the hunger that most people feel when consuming a low-fat diet. Healthy fats have also been found to reduce the risk of heart disease, lower blood sugar, and lower cholesterol. So, if the recommendations the government has been providing us have been wrong for the past 25 years, what should we be eating? It's most important to remember to focus on diet quality. Know what you're eating and where your food comes from. Understand that the type of carbohydrate is more important than the amount of carbohydrate. Increase complex carbohydrates like vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and beans. Understand the value of unprocessed fresh foods. By knowing the origins of your foods, you will have less added ingredients such as sodium, sugar, and preservatives. You will have the added benefit of nutrient-dense foods. Avoid sugary beverages, a major source of calories, usually with little or no nutritional value. Include healthy oils. This is the exact opposite of the low-fat message promoted by the USDA. There isn't a one-size-fits-all diet. It's important to do your own research. Individuals must assess their own nutritional needs based on activity levels, family medical history, preferences, and expected outcomes. Just like there isn't a one-size-fits-all approach diet, there isn't a one-size-fits-all approach to healthy living. When developing an individual healthy plan, Americans and free people across the globe should question authority, research for themselves, and implement new ideas. It is time we all assess our personal nutritional needs so that we can eat well, live well, and be well.